2K Sports. The season is winding down. The NBA begins to look ahead to the playoffs. It's going to be the Houston Rockets up against the Dallas Mavericks. See you soon.
Allow me to reintroduce.
We've got NBA basketball in store for you. We're live at the American Airlines Center. We're in Dallas, Texas, the home of the Mavericks. All live on 2K Sports. And get ready for another dose of NBA basketball here with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. I'm Kevin Harlan. And State Farm presents the starting lineups. And guys, what are we going to be looking for in this one from Dirk Nowitzki?
Well, Dirk is just so good at the offensive end of the floor, Kevin. The ability to shoot over the top of people. He's added so many things to his game, too. Post-ups, getting to the rim, being aggressive, and going to the foul line. Dirk Nowitzki, a first-ballot Hall of Famer, no question.
Most definitely, Steve. This guy has been phenomenal throughout his career, and very few situations bother him. He's clutch as a scorer, and he's more clutch because he's an excellent free throw shooter, too.
Taking a look at Houston. They're still scrapping for position in the playoffs. They're 15 games back from the number 1 seed.
Well, I'll tell you what, for bragging rights alone, this is a big game because these teams measure themselves against each other. So records and standings and everything else kind of takes a back seat to just the simple head-to-head aspect of it.
And you know what? That's something we love about rivalries as big as this one. I mean, the stakes are always high. No matter what time of year it is or where the teams stand, it's all about this one game, special.
And Rick Carlisle, head coach of the Mavericks, actually coached previously in Detroit and Indiana. And, you know, he won the Coach of the Year in his very first season as a head coach, 2002 with Detroit.
James kicks to Mayo. Kaman inside, working on a Sheik. Kaman's shot is good.
Nice putback. That's why you want guys working hard on the boards at both ends of the floor.
Here's Lynn. There's the dish to a Sheik. Harden. Lets it go from the wing. Again, the Rockets score. And going back to Rick Carlisle's time in Detroit, he'd gotten them as far as the conference finals in his second season, but was shown the door just prior to their championship year in 2004.
Yeah, the Pistons won the title the next year, so a move that obviously was justified, but a strange move nonetheless. Rick Carlisle had plenty of success, but that's the NBA. Coaches get blamed for everything, and to Carlisle's credit, he just moved on, kept working, and has had tremendous success ever since.
Nowitzki for 3. Outside Mayo. Fires for 3. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Nowitzki. And it's 6 points for O.J. Mayo. Lynn with it. He's picked up by James. Tie game and some big points being put up on the board.
Tune in this Thursday.
Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen here, guys, from the Mavericks.
And I'm just so impressed with the long-range shooting. You know, they have really lit it up from outside.
Yeah, the sharp shooting from deep, a big part of their lead, and they're playing with confidence and shooting it well.
Taking a look at the Rockets. Chandler Parsons out there with Carlos Delfino. Then it's Thomas Robinson. Then there's Garcia and Beverly. Tries again. Garcia's shot is good. Garcia's got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for the Rockets. Wright sets a screen for Collison. Here's Mayo. Pass to Wright. Shoots over Garcia. And it's Wright missing. For the Houston Rockets, they come in off the loss to Golden State.
And Kevin, they would have had to be sensational defensively to compensate for their lack of offense in that game.
Yeah, and you know what, Steve? I don't think they're built to play those kind of low-scoring, grinded-out games. They weren't that time, at least.
59 seconds left here in the second. Passes it to Delfino. Over Carter. No good from Delfino. The Mavericks leading. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
And the final score doesn't really indicate how well they played that night, Clark.
No, it doesn't. I mean, they were on the end of a few bad breaks that swung the game the other way. It should have been closer.
Step back and squared up. Robinson's got his first basket.
Look at their scoring. Mid-range jumpers account for 6 of their last 10 points.
Well, defensively, they're doing a nice job of keeping them out of the paint, but you got to give them credit. They're knocking down shots.
Delfino, good.
They saw just a little bit of daylight, went right to the rim.
The Mavericks have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Collison kicks to Carter. Carter off a pick from right. Collison with it. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Four seconds left. Cannot hit.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go.
And we're through 2 here and a good one. The Rockets lead by 1. And don't go.
It'll be the Golden State
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters.
Some good play from Mayo in this one. He has 11 points, and he's nailed 3 from long range. That's 9 points from deep.
Well, I like that he's not hesitating to pull the trigger. I mean, if he's got room, he's going to take the shot. He's putting some fear in this defense.
Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the floor right now for the Mavericks, Dirk and Kaman, they're inside. Then it's Mayo, and it's Crowder in at the small forward. And the shot is good. 1:29 left in the third quarter of the game.
And you have to give the ownership a lot of credit for the Mavs' success over the years, guys. A lot of people may not agree with things he has to say, but you can't argue with the success that he's had. He's spent his money, his resources. He's put a ton of passion and energy into building that franchise, and it's developed into one of the best in the entire league.
Brandon Wright's checked in for the Mavericks. Collison comes in for James. Collison against Lynn. He kicks to Mayo from downtown. Offensive rebound. Houston in the lead. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. That'll be the first of 4 played at home for them. And here's Harden for 3. The basket good off the assist from Lynn. And it's 7 points for James Harden. You talk about passionate ownership on the sideline, actively involved in crafting the roster and the fan experience. You don't get much better than Dallas. From the top all the way down, it's all about winning and not afraid to push for what's best for the NBA.
And I think he wants the best for his players, too, and that's why, as a player, you've got to love, admire, and respect that. You know that he wants to win just as much as you do, and it's easy to go the extra mile and commit to a team where that's the case coming from ownership.
And the shot is good. And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. Collison kicks to Mayo. Will it go? That falls. Great assist by Darren Collison. Collison's got 3 assists now in this one. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. The points coming in bunches as we wrap.
Coming up, this.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is H to the O.
Well, welcome back as we get set to start the fourth. Who's had the Sprite uncontainable game in this one? Well, let's go to Doris Burke.
Kevin, our uncontainable game in this one, the stretch by the Rockets. They wanted to come out strong early on and apply pressure at both ends of the floor, and it's done the job for them as they are in a position to win.
Doris, thank you. That was quite a run they had, quite exemplary of what we think of when we think about that turning point. Definitely a Sprite uncontainable game moment.
Yeah, you won't get any argument from me, Kevin. It was as big a factor in this game as anything. You know, when a team builds up that much momentum, it just becomes so hard to turn the tide back around.
Yeah, Steve, they just kept the throttle down. They sense an area of weakness and then just continue to exploit it, never letting up.
So on the floor for Houston, we've got Carlos Delfino. Ashik is out there with Thomas Robinson. Then it's Harden and Beverly. Out of bounds, Houston takes possession. Chris Kaman is checked in for the Mavericks. Crowder comes in for James. The Rockets making a switch here. Mayo against Lynn. The Rockets again can't hit. Mavericks trailed by 8. Mayo kicks to Carter. Shoots over Lynn. And Carter with the basket on the assist by Mayo. About a minute played here in the fourth quarter. Three-pointer. Carson's shot is off. The Mavericks shooting a lackluster 38% for the game, struggling so far. Mayo with it. And it's Lynn picking him up. Good! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
Terrible defense for both teams. Just atrocious.
Yeah, it's been awful, Steve. I don't know any other way to say it, and I'm sure both teams will get an earful from their coaches.
Harden. It's good! There's 37 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Mayo kicks to Carter. Lets it go with the 3. Scooped up. Rockets have gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. Harden inside the three-point line. From the top of the key, he buries it. And the Rockets lead by 7. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Rick Carlisle was going over with his team in that last huddle. He challenged this group to really go for it, saying, now's the time when winners take control. Now let's go out there and take it to them. Guys, a nice pep talk. We'll see if he got them going.
And the dunk by Robinson.
And that should do it. This is an insurmountable lead.
Yep, there's too little time left, too big a deficit to overcome. This one's over.
Outside Carter. Can't get it to go. Offline. So we see the Rockets get the win here. They came, they saw, they conquered.
Hey, Kevin, to me, any win is a good win.
Now it's time to say so long.